In every major sport, there's always that one name. The kind of player who doesn't just compete, they change everything. Muhammad Ali didn't just box, he defined boxing. Michael Phelps didn't just swim, he rewrote the record books. Serena Williams turned women's tennis into a global phenomenon. And Michael Jordan, he took the NBA from a league on the brink of collapse to a worldwide empire.
He lost the ball. Was stolen away, laid out for Jordan. This should be an easy two. Kaboom! And that's what they came to see, didn't it?
These players are called generational talents for a reason. They don't just lift themselves, they elevate everyone around them. And even the sport itself. Without Magic and Bird, the NBA may never have survived the 80s. Without Jordan, it may never have gone global. And for decades, the WNBA was still waiting for their version of that player. Ratings were flat, arenas were half empty. The league was losing millions every single year. No matter how hard they tried, nothing worked.
We're not asking you to get paid what the men get paid. We're asking you to get paid the same percentage of revenue shared.
No way.
So that's
What?
why it's like
Fans had almost given up hope. Then, almost like an answer to their prayers, she showed up. Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark.
A college superstar who walked into the WNBA and instantly turned the league upside down. Her games were breaking viewership records the league had never touched before. Entire arenas were selling out just to see her. And suddenly, the WNBA was everywhere. Social media, TV debates, mainstream headlines. For the first time in 20 years, people weren't laughing at the WNBA. They were talking about it.
Caitlin Clark is the reason why a lot of great things is going to happen for the WNBA.
But here's the shocking part. Instead of protecting her, instead of celebrating the one star powerful enough to finally transform the league, the WNBA seems to be doing the exact opposite. Strange award delays, baffling announcements, endless controversies, and now fans are left wondering, is the WNBA actually fumbling the biggest opportunity in its history?
I'm going to go on the record and say she's the best female collegiate player ever.
Every sport has had that savior moment. A point where one player drags an entire league out of the shadows and forces the world to pay attention. When Larry Bird and Magic Johnson entered the NBA, the league was in trouble. Finals games weren't even shown live on TV. But their rivalry turned into must-watch drama that pulled the NBA back from the edge. Then came Jordan, who didn't just dominate, he turned the NBA into a cultural empire. The WNBA, though, they'd been waiting nearly 3 decades for their savior. Stars came and went, but the numbers never moved. Attendance flat, TV ratings stagnant, sponsors hesitant, a league begging to be noticed, but never quite breaking through. And then Caitlin Clark appeared. From the second she touched a basketball at the pro level, everything shifted. Her college career had already made headlines, pulling more viewers than men's games, dominating highlight reels, selling out arenas that no other women's player could. But when she stepped into the WNBA, the impact was immediate. Game 1 of her very first playoff series, 1.8 million viewers. Game 2, over 2.1 million. To put that into perspective, that's higher than any WNBA finals in history. A rookie's first series was pulling bigger numbers than the championship round. She was more than a player, she was an event. Networks fought to air her games. Ticket sales skyrocketed. Fans who had never once watched women's basketball were suddenly tuning in. For the first time, the WNBA had what every league dreams of, a true phenomenon. But instead of embracing her rise, the league's next moves left fans stunned. At the end of the 2024 season, everyone already knew the award winners. MVP, obvious. Rookie of the Year, no debate. It had to be Caitlin. But when the WNBA started announcing awards, something felt off. First they named Aja Wilson MVP. No shock there. Then fans waited, expecting Caitlin to be next. Except, the league announced Most Improved Player instead. Odd, but okay. Surely Rookie of the Year was coming soon. Then came records broken in 2024. Still no Caitlin. Days passed. Another announcement, Defensive Player of the Year. Still no Caitlin. At this point, fans were furious. Social media erupted. Why are they avoiding her? What are they hiding? Some even accused the league of trolling, dragging it out on purpose. Finally, nearly 2 weeks later, they announced it. Caitlin Clark, Rookie of the Year. But the way they did it wasn't a celebration. It felt like a reluctant afterthought, and it came with one shocking twist that turned joy into outrage. The Rookie of the Year vote wasn't unanimous. Think about that. Caitlin Clark, the player who carried the league, who smashed records, who put the WNBA on the map in ways no one else ever had, didn't get every single vote. Instead, one lone vote went to Angel Reese. The numbers make it laughable. Caitlin's team made the playoffs. Angels finished dead last. Caitlin dominated in every category: points, assists, steals, shooting percentages, efficiency. The only stat Angel let in was rebounds, and even that was padded by grabbing her own misses. Fans didn't hold back. Comments poured in. This should have been unanimous. Jealousy ruined the vote. The WNBA is sabotaging itself, and honestly, they were right. What should have been Caitlin's crowning moment turned into a controversy that overshadowed everything else. But that wasn't even the worst part. All year long, Clark wasn't just targeted by defenders. She was hunted, hard fouls, cheap shots, blatant aggression. Night after night, she was battered on the court, while refs looked the other way. Off the court, the treatment was just as bad. Rival players throwing shade in interviews, social media jabs, constant whispers that she was being overhyped, that she didn't deserve the spotlight.
Yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person, it's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that. Like, it's not just because of one person. A lot of us have done so much for this game, and Kennedy has been here before, obviously, but there are so many great players in this league that have deserved this for a really, really long time, and luckily, it's coming now.
The WNBA stayed silent. No protection, no accountability, nothing. So now the question becomes, how long before Caitlin Clark decides she's had enough? It's not a crazy thought. Plenty of stars have done it before. Diana Taurasi left for Russia, Gabby Williams left for France, even legends like Liz Cambage went overseas when the WNBA couldn't deliver what they wanted. But Caitlin's situation is even scarier for the league. She doesn't need their money. Her endorsements already dwarf her WNBA salary. She doesn't need their platform. Millions already follow her every move. If she walked away tomorrow, she'd be fine. But the WNBA, they'd lose everything. The one player who made people actually care, the one player who could finally bring sponsors and broadcasters to the table. Losing her wouldn't just hurt, it would kill momentum the league has been chasing for 27 years. And that's why fans are calling this the biggest potential fumble in sports history.
This league has been begging for relevance for decades. Now they finally have it. And instead of cherishing their golden ticket, they're treating her like she's just another rookie.
Even Stephen A. Smith warned them, this isn't about ego, it's about business. When you have a star who can transform your sport, you don't downplay them. You put them front and center.
You make the call because of the betterment of the whole in the end. That is not compromising your integrity. That is business. And y'all are going to find that out.
But instead, the league sends mixed signals, leaving her off Team USA, downplaying her impact, allowing rivals to publicly and physically attack her. And while Angel Reese insists she's the reason people watch, the numbers tell a different story. People are tuning in for Caitlin. Period. Caitlin Clark isn't just a basketball player. She's a cultural force. The kind of athlete who doesn't come around more than once in a generation. Is the WNBA sabotaging their own future? Or is Caitlin Clark strong enough to rise above all of this? Let me know in the comments, and if you want the full story on just how badly she's been targeted this season, make sure you check out my next breakdown because what's been happening to her on the court will shock you even more.